So we live now. Camera's hot. The mics are hot. We back for another one. This is episode 222 of the No Hangover Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, rate, follow across all platforms. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. Catch us on our socials on Instagram at No Hangover Podcast and on TikTok at No_Hangover. As always, this is your host, Eric, and today we got a guest. What's good, dog? Introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Hey, this is your boy, Money Beezoe. A lot of y'all, probably already know me.
Yes, sir.
Just, chilling, chilling with mans, whatever. And, just came through the podcast, just to talk, chop it up. I like what he had going on. So, I was like, man, I got to be on the No Hangover Podcast,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. You did reach out to me. So that was, that's pretty cool. It is getting, I've been doing it, getting back into it. So having people reach out to me and wanting to work is, it's a good motivator, so yeah. I appreciate that. But let's get straight into it. You just put out an album. It dropped today, right?
Yeah, it just dropped today, man. MVP, man, making victory possible. Man.
Yes, sir.
Just trying to, I put out that album today, but I put out 3 other albums or whatever, over the past couple of weeks. But those have been mixed up with some new tracks and then some older ones or whatever. I kind of learned a little thing, strategy or whatever. And everything. So I kind of songs that I think needed more attention and everything, kind of bring them back around, remind people, Yeah, but right now it's about, the MVP project that, dropped today.
Word, yeah. And that was what, 22 songs?
It was 20. 20? 20. It's crazy that you said 22 though, because same time it was 2 songs that I had some issues with or whatever, so they gonna be on some stuff later on. Might put them as a single or whatever and everything, but
Hey, there you go.
It was supposed to originally be 22 though. Originally we got 20 on
the
that.
Exclusive on No Hangover right now.
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, really.
But I gave that shit a listen. You're able to send it to me a little early before you put it out, so I was able to listen to it.
Yeah, that's why you said 22.
Yeah.
He actually got the original what it was supposed to be, really though, to be honest with you.
Shit, but I gave it a listen and you definitely have a unique style. I think it was on the second song that, let me get this right, Beezoe different, not on the norm. Bro, when you said that bar, I'm like, your flow, your vibe is very when I was listening to it, I was trying to figure out what this reminded me of, and because it was you do have a very unique flow, but it seems like you kind of have pulled from places maybe
Yeah, nah, you're right. You are one of the first people who were able to see that, and that's how I know you listen.
Would you say Bun B is a fucking inspiration? Because I heard Bun B and a mixture of Bun B and Currency. That's the
Bun B is a big inspiration to me. I've listened to a lot of Bun B.
Yeah.
Listen to a lot of Bun B.
Yeah, so because I'm it sounded like that, but I'm like, there's something else mixed within it too. So I think it was track 8, 7 or something like that I kind of came to that conclusion. It was High Beam where I said Currency, Bun B, kind of that's the flow that you remind me of. That's kind of the mixture that it sounds like.
But the High Beaming song, that title really come from Cash Money shit though. Really, it comes from Cash Money shit.
True.
That's
true.
Because they always talked about the High Beam. Wayne actually got a song on his first album called High Beam. Really.
Damn. Yeah. So I guess how did you get to this flow, this style of rapping that you have? Because it is very different, but it's catchy. It has it. Because initially it's damn, I don't even know what I was listening to at first, and then I'm once you kind of get in the flow of the album, it's all right, I see what's going on. I see what I get it.
My father's style is different. Whatever, you got to catch on or whatever. If it may miss you at first, or it may go over your head, but once you get it, you'll get it. Because me or whatever, it's some ways I pronounce my words.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just feels however the beat. I try to be an instrument with the beat.
Yeah.
I try to be my voice be an instrument with the beat some way, where it ain't really clashing and it ain't making too many, So it just but it's good that you caught that though. At the same time, I try to make something different or whatever. But a lot of that come from just what you say. I kind of mix in different people. I listen to so many. I study the greats really. That's what I do. I go back and a lot of new music. I don't really listen to a lot of new music, to be honest with you, or whatever. Certain new people I catch or whatever and everything, but I don't really listen to a lot of new music.
So who would you say your inspirations that you draw from the most then?
Who I draw for the most? I would say Wayne. Yeah, well, there's a lot of Wayne in there. That's kind of what my like style is. Like how I do my ad libs and everything. That come from Wayne.
Yeah.
That come from Wayne. Yeah, like how I do my ad libs and everything. That come from Wayne. Tupac, a lot of Tupac or whatever and everything. Like my inspiration really comes from Tupac though. At the same time, cause Tupac gave me like a key, like just like like strategy or whatever and everything. It was like when you recording or whatever.
Turn the mic real quick, my bad. There you go.
Oh, word. Yeah. Okay, bet. Yeah. It's like Lil Wayne or whatever. I mean, or Tupac or whatever. He like gave a important thing or whatever. Like when you're recording or whatever, like don't worry about like the mixing or whatever and everything right then when you're recording or whatever. Just basically record and then worry about the mixing and all that stuff later. Like worry about that later. Just record the tracks or whatever and everything, and then that's how I'm so able to get so many tracks done. Cause I'm able to like just record that or whatever. Cause I know I'm mixing it later or whatever. So basically, like I know I'm gonna get to that part later on.
And you're doing all that by yourself, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I'm doing all by myself. I have like like I go and look at certain like people who like other mixing engineers and everything. Yeah. I go and look at what type of key things they do and everything. But then like I just have like other people that kind of gave me key pointers and everything too. Like my homie QS Latin or whatever and everything. He like was the first person I kind of really paid attention to with the mixing and everything. Yeah. And then he kind of just showed me different things.
He was on a couple features on the album, right? Yeah, because he had some pretty hard bars too. That was something else that I realized. Like the features that you had were like very well placed.
Oh yeah, those features or whatever. Like I just like sequencing or whatever and everything. Like that's one thing I learned from Full Sail too. Like I went to Full Sail for a little bit or whatever and everything, and they taught like sequencing or whatever. And then I learned that from just watching like certain stuff like Michael Jackson or whatever and everything too. Like how you sequence an album or whatever and everything. Cause like how the reason why Thriller worked the way it did is because of the sequencing and everything. Yeah. Like how they had certain songs come after, and then like they say the sequencing or whatever. Put it into like where it flows for the listener. It takes the listener on a ride where you got them here and you got them here, but you ain't got them all over the place.
Yeah,
whatever,
So. No, for sure. I mean that is one of the greatest albums of all time. So I mean, it seems like you do a lot of studying. You're a student of the game. That
Yeah, that's what I do. If I ain't making music, I'm watching like I'm watching an interview or whatever or something, or like I'm watching a documentary or something like that.
Like you're ready to soak up this information and really try and make the most of it. And I feel like that's important.
I've heard a lot of people say recently, whatever, like in order to be great, you gotta like kind of like study the greats or whatever. For sure. But I'm not trying to imitate them, but I kind of just like kind of take something from what they do. Try to put the Beezoe spin on it.
Well, I think that's kind of a part of life. Like for me, at least, like when I look up to somebody, it's more of like not even looking up. It's more of just like an admiration that I have for them for a certain ability or for a certain like characteristic that they have, and like I'll try to like take what they're doing and make it work for me. You know what I mean? Like if it's something that I admire from them, like if somebody's resilient or someone is a go-getter or something like that, I'm like, oh, I like that. I admire that. Let me see how I'm going to take that, but mold it into where it's going to work for me and how my personality is.
That's what a lot of people, that's what a lot of people do though. A lot of those people do that because they want people to pick up on that or whatever. A lot of people, they don't mind that or whatever and everything. So, I study a lot of that, like Nipsey Hussle. I study a lot of Nip or whatever and everything, just of how he kind of moved with the industry and everything and the certain things he was trying to do. And like ownership, that's what I'm saying. You understand, like ownership is really important in this music industry or whatever because there's a lot of underhanded stuff that goes on, and a lot of people get bad deals and
they'll take advantage of that shit.
You sign your name without reading that fine print, then you in some other stuff. Yeah, and, lost your creative control, and now they got you doing stuff that you legally got to do because you signed it. Once that black and white, get done. So
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that has been getting exposed over the past few years, and you know, you're seeing a lot more people, a lot more artists just go independent, take that route, and you know, like we were saying before, like they start coming to the table with leverage. They start coming to the table with already, you know, 50K followers, 100K followers. They're generating this much, you know, these many streams a month. So it's like, all right, now I can kind of make demands, and you kind of have to meet them. If not, like, you know,
I still can go over here and do this on my own.
Yeah, I'm trying to, you know, it has to be more like 50-50, like you were saying. It can't be like fucking 80-20 or 90-10. It has to be a 50, you know, closer to that, you know, 55-45, 50-50 type shit, because people are already coming with their own money already, with their own, you know, team, with their own marketing, with their own fucking distribution, you know, all that.
Yeah, because I mean, but at the same time, what the labels will do though, sometimes whatever. Because I heard Jonah Lucas say this one time. Whatever, Jonah Lucas was like, they'll like act like they've been following you for like 2 years and everything, and then they will like just started listening to your stuff or like really paying attention or really trying to learn something, so they have it for the meetup or whatever. They'll just do that shit like a day or two before and act like they've been doing it 2-3 years before or whatever and everything, just to get you to think like, okay, these people really rocking with you.
I mean, that's, you know, bro, that's fucking corporate America. When you get business involved, you get businessmen involved, and they're savvy people. Like, they know how to work emotion.
Savvy people, don't be the ones. Don't be the ones that they don't really care.
For real, they just see you as a dollar sign. And that's how they see the world and shit. So yeah, I mean, it's cutthroat, but you know, once you're able to see through that bullshit, then I feel like it's a lot easier to do business. Like when you take your emotions out of shit, it's a lot easier, because it's not, especially when you're working with businessmen and people who are in that corporate scene, it's like they see you as numbers and dollar signs. Like it's nothing personal beyond that.
You got to understand that. You got to understand business is never personal. Business is never personal.
But it's hard as an artist, like, because you're putting out something that is personal, that is
so now
emotional.
I'll put my art and I'll put my emotions in there. But at the same time, not everybody make music like that too much or whatever now, too, where they're putting their feelings into it.
But that's also when you see guys like, you know, Lil Baby and guys like that kind of are like, they see it as a business, and you know, he's putting his shit out there, but he came in like with that savvy, so you know, and he's able to, you know, blow up and make it what it is and have his run and shit like that. But
he came in with the leverage. He came in with the leverage, and then he came in with his team supporting him though, because Q was really behind him, because Q really rocked with him, because Q knew him before. Like
they knew what they had.
They knew him from the streets. So at the same time, they really was like, okay, we gonna put this behind him and everything, and they really got behind him. So that's why Baby worked at first or whatever like that or whatever. Like now it's just like everybody like, you know, he's falling off or whatever. But Baby there's like really doing other things besides like
he's like in that like business part of his career now. Because if you think about it, really, like, even if you look at like the greats and shit like that, like there's really like a 3-year shelf life that you really have to like really make it pop. I mean, the guys that really come to mind for me are like 50 Cent and Nelly, that like after that 3-year run, like they put out some shit, they put out some music, but it really wasn't sticking, and then they went into other business ventures and were able to piggyback off of their music success. But like
the music is the door, the foot in the door.
Yeah,
like,
it's
and
the
then
catalyst.
it opens the door to everything else, because there's so many other doors behind the music you can do. Like 50 doing movies now, and TV shows, and Nelly, I mean, he did
the vitamin water shit.
Yeah, he did.
Nelly did acting too, you know. So I mean, those are guys that. But I mean, you can go down the list, but you know, you kind of have to. You can make a living off of music, but you have to understand that if you really make it, like it's only gonna last. So like, you only really have that to really capitalize and maximize your earning potential in music.
Yeah. Or you figure out how to make them songs that just, you know, stand the test of time or whatever. That really.
Well, I mean, that's where I feel like kind of going into like producing, beat making, or songwriting kind of comes in, because if you're just strictly an artist, then you kind of limit yourself. That's where you know again, when you're the main thing, or like when you're the artist in and of it, like the being, whatever essence you're trying to capture, you have that 3-year lifespan. But then again, Neo's another one that he was songwriting like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you're right about the songwriting.
That will take you along. I mean, Party Next Door. I love Party Next Door, but he's written some of the Rihanna's biggest songs, and he knows how to write hits.
Hitmaker or whatever that used to be. What his rap name used to be? Down the beat. His name Hitmaker now is a producer, but he used to be a rapper.
Let me look it up.
His name is I think I want to say Young Berg. I think I want to say Young Berg. That what his rap name used to be, but he didn't really do too good as a rapper or whatever because he only had like one or two hot singles or whatever. But he like started doing other songwriting and all this other stuff.
Yeah, refer to Young Berg. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because he started doing that songwriting thing or whatever, and he like that's what people really know him for more than the artist side. So.
Yeah, but I mean that's the things that you can take. I mean, producing on the other hand, I mean we were starting to see that guys like Timbaland, Pharrell, fucking they can take that and be a producer for 20 years. Kanye West, I mean you might not go out and buy his album. He might not be the hottest artist, but he's gonna be a part of the hottest songs, the hottest albums,
in some shape or form.
Yeah. So I mean, those are the things that are going to be a little bit long lasting. Like the actual, like being the face of or being the superstar, that only lasts so long because that shit fizzles out eventually.
Yeah. No.
The next hot thing comes around.
Or you figure out ways to innovate yourself.
Yeah, but I mean that's hard though for an artist. I feel like there's really like how many artists can you really say that have stood the test of time like that? Guys like Michael Jackson, Prince, things like that. I mean, to me, Drake
Wayne has. But now it's just going.
I think Wayne is riding more off of his peak was so fucking high.
Yeah,
that shit.
He set the bar too high or whatever, and now it's just like. It's like okay.
He hasn't really developed. Like he's given us everything that he's gonna give us, and now this is just
we're looking for something different, but we're not getting it. That's what the issue is now.
Yeah, and we're not gonna get it because I mean how old is he now? He's been in the game for how long? Like he doesn't need to do that.
He's in his mid-40s now.
Yeah, so I mean, but he's been in the game since he was like 15 years old. Yeah. So
earlier than that, he was like 12.
Yeah, for real. So but I mean, who else? I mean, I'm trying to think. Lady Gaga, she's guys, people like that. Bruno Mars, I fuck with that. He's been able to. The Weeknd, but those are like
Nas.
I
mean, since that's a conversation now. I mean, like Nas has. I mean, he about to go on tour. I mean,
he's staying. He puts out music and he stays relevant because he's good. But again, it's not like he's not considered a superstar anymore.
Oh yeah, true. So you saying somebody who's considered a superstar right now, like, and they said it.
Yeah.
Usher?
I think he had his time. But he's on tour right now, or he was on tour.
He's on tour. Whatever. I mean, he's still.
But I don't think if he puts out an album today, people are gonna be rushing to get it. You know what I mean?
Chris Brown.
Ooh, Chris Brown.
It's just Chris Brown. And I just hate that it has that stain on his name.
And that's the only thing that
he's supposed to be this modern day Michael Jackson. I mean,
and I agree 100% with you.
And they're like that, but you can't hold that against that man for like that long, man. Come on now, man.
But he doesn't do himself any favors either.
Yeah, he stays really in trouble. His personal life like that or whatever.
He stays getting in trouble with the law and shit like that. So like. I think that really did fuck him up commercially, the whole Rihanna thing.
Yeah, no,
because they took away his sponsors.
But if he's not making it any better, then I get it. I kind of get it then now. I mean,
but his music still sells. But it's not mainstream like it was like when he was at his peak.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean I get just the point. Like you have a short shelf life as being a superstar. So I mean, you got to be able to branch out, do other things, like, I mean, kind of, going back to you, like you're able to, mix your own shit. You're able to, you're coming up with your own cover arts and things like that as well. Like, you're doing it all in house. Yeah. So like you're saying, you come with that leverage to, if someone's offering you a contract or offering you a record deal.
I know I can go do everything myself. Yeah. I don't need you to go hire nobody. Cause like my budget or whatever, get it to me or whatever. I'm gonna just spend probably about 10% of it and keep the rest of it. I mean, like, but I say I want to do that without any legal trouble and everything like that or whatever. So that's why I want just a management deal. I don't know be signing nobody. I don't know a management deal because I can do everything myself. Or I know where to get it. If I can't go do it, I know who to go get it done.
Like you said, just send me the leads and I'll fucking go get that shit.
Send me the leads, man. That's all I need. Send me the leads and I'll go handle the rest.
How long have you been rapping for? How long have you been involved in music?
Shit, I've been involved in music since I've been a teenager, man. Music has been therapy to me. Like music is more like that's why I do it so much because it's my therapy or whatever and everything. Because I be gonna go to therapy and shit like that or whatever, but like I be like, what for sometimes whatever and everything. Because like I don't really, I mean, I need it, but at the same time, I'd rather just this music or whatever. It's like, I see when I do this music, I just like, I don't think about my problems.
Yeah.
Or I see this is when I have the most smile time or fun time or whatever. So I just do, this is more therapy, but I've been doing this music shit since I'm a teenager, man, like long time.
What got you into it? Was it just, you know, kind of like something you picked up, like your parents put you in some type, you know, gave you an instrument, or, you know, kind of?
Nah, it was I saw my older cousin or whatever, like he was rapping and everything, and then like I started like, we had a little group and everything, me and my 2 other cousins or whatever, had a group called the Soul Assassins, and we just was rapping and everything, and I saw him or whatever and everything doing it, and I wanted to do it. Then I heard Lil Wayne, Block is Hot. That's a song that really made me start wanting to like really rap or whatever. Yeah. Block is Hot. Heard that, and then I started rapping and everything, and I've been doing it ever since. But yeah, nah. Then at the same time, it was a way to deal with my grandmother passing, because my grandmother had passed and everything. So after she passed, like that's when in the midst of her, like, 'cause she passed from cancer, so in the midst of her, like, I guess a couple of months away and everything. That's why when I picked this up. Yeah. And then like from when she passed and everything, like the more I writing songs and everything, the more I just kind of like didn't really think about losing her and everything, or whatever. Cause that's when my depression started too. Cause like I had bad issues with depression too or whatever. So like that's when that really started and everything. And then the military like kind of like, you know, took it in different routes and everything. But yeah, it was just a way of just dealing with that, and I guess that turned into. And it just was something that every time I do the music or whatever, like I'm at ease, I'm at peace.
That's your fucking escape.
That's my peace. Music is my peace or whatever and everything. So, you know, and then like at the same time to see people like, you know, really like it, and, you know, I have people that sometimes tell me like their music, like certain songs have like, you know, helped them with certain issues and everything like that or whatever, you know. Cause I got a song called Mental Battlefield. You go real in that. That's like one of my realest songs. And then like when I open the song, I say therapy in the studio, realest rapper ever wrote. I mean, that's like something like Tupac had said, well, he used to say, you know, getting blowed in the studio, true shit I ever smoke or true shit I ever spoke or whatever and shit. But I just flipped that a little bit. But now I really meant that this day. When you really listen to it or whatever, I talk about so many things in there, whatever. You really want to know about my life or whatever, or why my mental is, you know, what it is or whatever. That song is special.
Yeah, you do put it out there, and you know that is I feel like that helps. I mean, if you can, you know, you can hear.
Because I put it out there for other people though at the same time too. Though I do it for myself, but at the same time I do it because I know other people out there listening. And then I know it's probably somebody that's going through the same situation and everything.
Yep.
Hearing me, you know, say I made it through this, maybe give them hope or whatever. Because it sounds like I done been through this.
But I mean, that's a you know, another thing that's, you know, dope about that. You know, you have that awareness that it's like, I know I'm not the only one going through this. Like, I've been through this. Like, if I can help out in any way, like, even if it's indirectly, like, through my music, fuck it. Let me put that shit out there.
To have people and then actually have someone tell me that, or to hear that from more than one person or whatever, it makes it even more now where, okay, I can do it because I know somebody. You know, they ain't the only ones. It's somebody that these other people just ain't able to tell me or don't want to tell me.
Facts. Yeah.
Some people or whatever have a real where they'll like something about it, but either they feel intimidated or they don't want to tell you out of whatever reason.
Yeah, the shame or whatever the fuck, or
feel like they down, like, you know, D-riding because they telling you, you know, whatever. Everything, but
ego gets in the way. Ain't that some shit?
Like, thank you, appreciate it, whatever. I'm one of the most, like, you know, like I feel like I believe in common courtesy, man. Like I respect you respect me. You disrespect me, then hey, do what we gotta do.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, shit. You would imagine how easy your life would be if more people thought like that. Like,
I mean, like that's what I'm saying, man. More people just think of it, just like it ain't that serious a lot of times or whatever and everything. Like ego is, you know, just nothing. I mean, like,
I think it's important, but it needs to be checked. I think ego needs to constantly be checked by yourself.
But you shouldn't have an ego anywhere or whatever and everything. Like, put that shit aside or whatever and everything. Like, nobody's better than nobody. We all the same, bro.
For sure.
We all the same. We all bleed the same. We all, you know, it just it's all the same, bro. You ain't no better than nobody. Maybe you got more than this person or whatever and anything, but I don't make you no better than nobody just because. You know what I mean?
Yeah, superficial shit.
I feel like I'm better than everybody. Like at the same time, like I got a song called Beezoe Different or whatever. I put like a little Wayne skit. I mean, like at the same time, if I say I'm the best rapper and everything, I feel that way because of certain things I do. I mean, I feel like all around. Like I ain't talking about just the rapping and the bars. I'm talking about just all around of what I do in a song. Cause I got so many songs or whatever. I can take you to techno land. I can do whatever and everything and feel comfortable in myself or whatever, doing it, whatever. But I ain't go. And then at the same time, I'm gonna give you some real subject on it too. I ain't gonna be all over the place with it. I'm gonna give you a subject. Every song, whatever you listen to, it's to one subject. So you know, it's like, you know, so
storytelling.
Just story. Yeah, I try to, and I'm trying to get more into that way and everything, whatever. But mine is just more like what I go through, what I've been through, everything. That kind of most of my lines, whatever. It's just basically a lyrical way of just explaining my story. It just like everything in the song, my raps is something I've been through or been through. I probably ain't going through it now, but I've been through it.
Do you like, you know, so if you get an idea or whatever, do you still like, do you just write it in your phone or do you like feel the need to like write it like pen to paper type or like?
I do both. I do both with the phone or whatever. Like most of the time I'll write it in the pad first and then I'll transfer it to the phone. Cause the transferring to the phone is basically when I'm in front of the mic and then I gotta probably change a word or rearrange a word back in. But most of the time I'm writing it. I got like most of the time I write without the beat, to be honest with you. I got like to a point where right without the beat, I know like it's like bars are like a sentence. Yeah, you got to end it with a you know something like a period or whatever. Yeah. Your bar ending the bar got to be something that's like a period, and then you know. But I write, and then at the same time, if I got to readjust it when I get to the beat, then just readjust it or whatever.
Damn, so you're just
writing 16, just like
that's it.
I'm gonna get a subject in my head, a topic in my head, write 16, then hook. Another 16, and then shit. And then when I get the beat, then I just, you know. But sometimes I listen to the beat first, but sometimes I just write it without it.
How do you go through your like process of beat selection, and then pairing it with a 16 that you already wrote?
Probably like the beat got to catch me within the first like 20 seconds. Like it just got to be something like where that hook or whatever, or like you know, it got to like catch me in the first like 20, 30 seconds or whatever. And then like. Once I do that, then like the pairing the bars, that's easy because I mean you might have to flip a word or you might then just like sentence form it so good that we're like you know because when you don't make music for so long, you know like the bar is only so long. Yeah, it's like a 1 2 3 bar, 1 2 3 bar. You know, so it's like so. But yeah, that's what I do. Whatever, I just you know, but I make sure the subject or whatever. And then the beat, I just make sure it's in the mood of that song, whatever that song is. If I wrote about the beat, whatever the mood that I kind of like see where the song is going, I make sure the beat kind of match. If it's a girl song or something like that, then I make sure like the beat is you know something like that. But
something they can shake their ass to a little bit.
Yeah, something that or whatever, or like you know I try to make that because I try to get away from the shake the ass song or whatever. Shit, my biggest song is like knees and elbows. I got like that song got like 150,000 streams on Spotify and shit. And it's like that song or whatever, I'll never be able to get away from that song. Like, cause that song like it was in Germany or whatever. Like it just be times where like DJs would like, you know, I got like three European, like I got like 3 different like European remixes to it that Germans did for me. That I'm gonna put out or whatever and shit like that or whatever, you know, eventually whatever and shit. But it's just because I'm trying to get away from that because like, you know, like my Instagram or whatever, like I say, cause I'll be out and motherfuckers be like, you the dude that make the twerk video songs. Like, man, I don't like you know my nigga. I don't want to be known.
It's
for
like
that
yeah,
shit,
but like damn, I do more than that shit.
You ain't see how we talking about my life down looking at the song. Like damn, you just like damn, bro. Like
well, know, I mean, when you get chicks shaking ass,
I got so used to it or whatever. And shit, just be like you know, but and that's why I try to focus more on you know. But I don't be helping myself whatever too though, cause like my Instagram algorithm, cause when the single first came out, I used to like really. That's how the song got to where it is. Cause I used to just promote that shit all the time. That's how I used to promote it. But then at the same time, also I used to have like organic videos too, where like you know, people, certain females would send me videos or whatever, actually dance to the song. I still got some of them or whatever though, but like and that helped out too. But my Instagram, it knows with that video. Like I post one of those videos, it's gonna show it to everybody in my following. Bro. Like, and that's why I be like, I see that shit. The difference or whatever when I post videos. Like everybody in my following, whatever, I be like, damn, they still following me, you know, certain shit like that, you know. So, But,
damn. Yeah, well, you know.
But I understand my algorithm and shit, so I just kind of work with that shit. But I try and do more of I'm trying to get away from the knees and elbows shit. I do more of the ink and beauty now because like it's actually like females that actually accept the collaboration or whatever, and it's easier to get off because it's tattoos or whatever, and I can have more where I can find more pictures of, and then I get the consent from the female also, so it's like, you know, it works better.
Yeah, fuck, you gotta do what works though. Fuck, what's gonna fucking get your shit out there?
Yeah, no, that's his point. This is marketing, man. That's what it is, man. Just like 10% business, 10% down talent, and like just the other
how to fucking put yourself out there. And
other percent is getting yourself out there, whatever and shit, and then just making sure that people, you know, rock with it and getting a core fan base. I think a core fan base is what really help out, because I mean, you got to reach people or whatever, but a core fan base, they gonna always rock with you.
They're gonna come back.
Yeah, so
and fucking listen to your shit. So
that's what I be trying to look for, the core. But I mean, I be trying to see, I be seeing certain core people that I be, you know, like, okay, like they don't miss a post a lot of times. I be seeing, I start to see that, so that's nothing to keep me kind of motivated with it too. I start to see people stick around.
I mean, that's gonna kind of segue into my next question. That like, how is it that you keep yourself in a creative headspace and like you know, where you're not finding yourself getting writer's block or like kind of like, I guess, lacking in motivation? Because I feel like that's a big thing, especially, you know, with artistry, that you're putting yourself out there and you're getting comments, you know, I'm sure good and bad, and
just really the military, to be honest with you, bro, like that shit really like that'll change your life, bro, like as far as just like with anything or whatever, as far as, because even when you out of it or whatever, you still got that mentality. Yeah, there's times where like, nigga, I talk to myself like, hey, bro, you got to get this right here done, get it done. That's what I do.
I mean, it's that simple.
I mean, to me or whatever, I'm my motivation. Yeah, because I'm all I got, bro. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, it's like I'm out here in Florida. I'm originally from South Carolina. I ain't got no like no blood family out here, whatever. I got like 2 people I consider my brother, Kid Pro, QS Latin. And that's like kind of like, as far as like people I know, like, hey, they gonna try to attempt, if I'm in a situation or whatever, they gonna at least try to attempt, or they gonna get it done for me or whatever and everything. Yeah. So, but as far as like family, like I'm out here by myself, bro, and I got that. So if I don't do it, it ain't gonna get done. That's why I look at life. If I don't do it, it ain't gonna get done.
Yeah, I mean, shit, that's probably the best way to look at it.
If I don't get out here and get this money or whatever and everything,
nobody's gonna get that money for me.
Yeah. And I've been in situations and everything like that or whatever, like where like, you know, I ain't had no choice but to do that or whatever. Everything, like, you know, I done gave it up or whatever and start from zero, and like just took my important papers and everything or whatever in my bag and like a couple pieces of clothes and went to a homeless shelter and everything, like, you know, and really, you know, so like, and I had no choice but to, but being in that situation though, I'm glad I was in that situation though, because at the same time it taught me life or whatever. Like, if you wanna do it, ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. Get a relationship with the Most High and everything. Get a relationship with God, and just let God be your guide or whatever. And God gonna place people in your life or whatever that you ain't gotta go look for it. Cause, you know, like, and I see that or whatever, cause I ain't had no choice but to do it or whatever. So I had no choice but, hey, you don't get out here and get this money or whatever. Ain't nobody gonna get it for you. You gotta get it done. So I apply that to the music, bro. Like, if I don't get it done, then ain't gonna get done. Yeah. Ain't nobody gonna promote me for me or whatever and everything. I ain't need to be going saying, well, if I am, this person ain't playing my music and that person ain't got nothing to do. Like, nobody don't owe me nothing, bro. I look at it like, no, nobody owe me nothing. I used to look at it at a point, whatever, it was like a little while ago, I used to be mad about certain situations and everything. Like, man, why this gonna happen? And I'm better than, you know. And then I started thinking like, man, bro, them people don't owe you nothing, bro. You don't know none of these people. These people ain't your family. You ain't live with none of these people and everything. People don't know you, bro. These people don't owe you shit, bro. Go get it yourself. And then once I started playing that shit, I was like, man, shit. Damn. And then at the same time, if I don't want to, and then at the same time, it's times whatever, like where I ain't in the mood to record, because it is times I ain't in the mood to record or whatever. Yeah. But like, nah, that military thing, it'll give you that mind frame where you talk yourself into, you know, like how Kobe and Jordan used to create like certain things in their mind,
make shit up just to get themselves motivated and shit.
I use that voice in my head to be like, hey, bro, you gotta get this done, get it done. Get it done. It ain't gonna record itself.
How many years were you in the military for?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
What branch?
Army.
Yeah. Oh, shit, so
yeah, Army, man. Deployed and everything. Deployed to Afghanistan and everything.
yeah.
I talk about it. I talk about that in my mental battlefield song, whatever and everything too. I talk about my commando, whatever and everything. Like I talked to him like the night before, next day. I mean, he committed suicide. I mean,
Damn.
so but I mean, it's out there anyway. I mean, like I'm exposing anything like something that people didn't know. Yeah. I mean, because I be like trying to be iffy with that because I don't want him to be remembered for that because he was a whole better person than that or whatever and everything. Yeah. A really good guy, a real stand up guy, So, but yeah, like night before I talked to him and everything, next day is dude, So
damn.
So it's like, but I already knew it was some dirty stuff behind it. And then like as years went by, the crazy thing about it, I was talking to one of my homeboys, and he had a situation where something happened where one of his people kind of did the similar thing, but he explained it like he did it so like they wouldn't, because he was gonna get in trouble, so they was gonna take his money from him. So he did that so they wouldn't take the money from him. His family would get it.
Shit.
So sometimes I think as I got when I heard that, and as I kind of think about the situation a little bit more, I was thinking he probably did because he was real close with his family. So I think like that's probably because the night before I was like, man, dude, we talking about going back, have partying, getting all the girls and everything after we done deployed and everything, and I used to think like, why the hell he did that the next day? Like, but as once I heard that and I now put two and two together, I was like, that's probably why. But I mean, that's just me speculation. I can't say it's 100% why.
Yeah. But yeah, damn, that's. Yeah, I mean that happened. That you hear that a lot. There's a high suicide rate amongst veterans. And
they really because they mind like veterans or whatever like. And then the thing about it, the military, what they do, they're just like basically like it's just like hey, take this or whatever and everything. They feel like pills gonna fix everything or whatever, and that ain't gonna do it. Yeah. Cause another one of my homeboys or whatever that was in the military or whatever, my rap partners or whatever, one of my first rap partners, my first like real rap partners and everything. Like he passed whatever because his kidneys failed because of pills and everything. Yeah, because that shit fucking. Yeah, you get addicted. Over the years, you got addicted to it or whatever and everything, and so. But they'd be like, take this or whatever. And a lot of those soldiers, they don't know how to deal with it a lot of times or whatever, So and then it pushes them to the edge or whatever. But suicide rate in the military is high. Like a lot of people I know, like put themselves out here or whatever because of that.
Man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, man,
it really is. But so you were in the military for 6 years in the Army. What point did you get here to Orlando?
I got to Orlando in 2022 because I was in Tampa at first or whatever. Yeah. But I was in Germany for like a couple of years or whatever.
Like outside of the military, you were just there.
Yeah, outside of the military, because like what happened is like I got stationed in Germany. That was my first duty station. I got basic training. Then I went to AIT to learn my job and everything. I was a supply Yankee. Then went from AIT to Germany. And then I was in Germany for 2009 up until 2012. Then they closed the base down in Germany, so they was shipping us back to the States or whatever. Yeah. So I had a choice or whatever, and I chose to go back to South Carolina. I went back home or whatever. I thought like that was a good idea, but wasn't a good idea. Wasn't a fucking good idea. But worse was worse down because I was married at the time and everything too. So that worse was the idea. But got stationed at Fort Jackson or whatever and everything. I was cadre in or whatever and everything because like that's where all the soldiers come in or whatever. So I was on. There was crazy thing about it, I got to see the other side of it from going in or whatever and being one, and then like actually being on the side where like they coming in and I'm seeing how they come in and what they go through and everything. Like so. But yeah, that was my last duty station. Then I got out, got medically separated or whatever. I tore my meniscus when I got in 2008 or whatever and everything in basic training. I tore my meniscus and everything. Damn. But back then it was like a time where like they was letting everybody in or whatever because that's when Iraq had popped off or whatever at first or whatever. So they was letting everybody in. So they didn't really tell me or whatever I tore my meniscus or whatever and everything. They told me like I had like a bad sprain or put me on crutches and, you know, so. But over the years, it got worse or whatever, so I ended up getting out in 2015. Then I moved to Germany with my then wife or whatever because she was German and everything, so she was, like, you know, talking about she, you know, feel like she want to go back to her family, she miss her. So we went back over there. Another bad decision. Another bad decision. Like, you know, it ended up being reversed and everything because then like she wasn't getting the love that felt that she was, you know, like supposedly she was thinking she was gonna get by going back home and everything. Everything wasn't like she expected it. So then she that formed a thing of depression or whatever. So that kind of ended up spilling into our marriage and into the house and everything. So that ripped the marriage apart. It deteriorated slowly after time, whatever. So, because I mean, I feel like if we never went to Germany or whatever, we had to stay in the States, then probably still be together and everything. But it's the reason for everything. But so we ended up divorcing and everything. So I ended up staying over there for a little bit or whatever. But shit, my dumb ass ended up down but getting a DUI and everything. And then I got fined or whatever over there, whatever. Cause what they do over there, their laws is very different over there. So, you know.
In Germany.
But if I had to get it on, cause the shit happened to me off base or whatever. So I was under the military. I mean, not the military, the German laws and everything.
Okay.
So they fined me a good bit of money. So, you know, but they were like, pay it off or whatever and everything or whatever. But as time went on over there, things started like, you know, cause like I said, I ain't no German citizen or whatever. So I was working on base or whatever though. So I was working at the commissary. So that's how I was, you know, doing everything over there and staying over there for the time being. But everything started changing with that a little bit and everything. So I ended up like having to leave from over there. Then I came back to the States or whatever for a little bit. And then that's when the situation happened with a family member and everything or whatever. And we fell out and everything. And then I went to the nearest hosted home because like at the same time, like it was a choice I made because I had a choice. I either leave or have a certain situation I had to deal with or whatever. Everything. So I was like, I don't want to deal with the situation or whatever. So it was already going super left and everything. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start from zero. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my important papers, got all that. Then I Googled it, the closest shelter near me or whatever. And it took me to the crazy thing about it. It took me to like a Christian type shelter where they had devotion and they had rules. Like you had to be like out, you had to be up at 5, out by 7, then you couldn't come back till like 6. Within that 7 hours, you had to be like either working or whatever and everything. So
trying to make something,
trying to get up out of there because you can't stay or whatever. This is just a temporary thing, whatever. It was, you know, so I'm glad I ended up in there and everything. And then they had like devotion and all type of stuff, whatever and everything. So I took my time there, whatever. Then, like, me and my baby mama, we kind of started, like, back talking or whatever. Cause I got a daughter with her and everything.
And this is still in South Carolina?
Yeah, I'm still in South Carolina after I came back from Germany that time, whatever and everything. And then this is time after, me and the situation with my cousin fell out and everything. So then I basically was talking to her and everything, and I had a job and everything, and I, you know, saved money and everything or whatever and everything. I knew when I go back to Germany this time, I'm gonna have to pay them or whatever because when I left from over there, I didn't pay my fine. I didn't pay my fine out.
Yeah, so you had to pay that off.
I had to pay that off or whatever and everything. So basically, I knew I had to pay them well. Cause I was talking to her, so she was finding information or whatever and everything. Cause I know I had I think I had like a warrant or whatever over there, or whatever when I come back or whatever and everything. So. But I already knew that. So I already knew. So I had the money over there and everything. So basically, me and her was talking and everything. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna come back over there. And I was planning on going over there and living and not coming back. I wasn't even planning on coming back, and I ain't supposed to be in the States right now, to be honest with you. Things had to go the way it wasn't back then. But I planned on going over there and staying and then being over there for my daughter and just living over there and raising her and, you know, because I had the music over there or whatever and everything too or whatever, because I had built like, you know, doing shows over there or whatever. And everything or whatever before I had left why I had built like a fan base or whatever, and people knew me or whatever for the music and everything. So I was doing that. But then when I left or whatever, I came back, then went to the shelter And then like I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back or whatever, and everything, but I'm gonna live over there, and I just need time to get myself together and everything. Then I'm gonna get out on my own. I ain't trying to, because it wasn't nothing for me and her or whatever. It was just all about my daughter then. So okay, then I went over there. Crazy thing about it, like I didn't know, like when you fly to Germany, like they see like everybody who comes from the States or whatever and everything. They see like the name, itinerary and everything. Whatever. I didn't know, they already knew I was coming. Yeah. So they knew I was coming. Like, so I'm walking, getting on the plane and everything, and I see 2 police officers. When we start walking towards my way or whatever, I ain't paying no mind, like, you know. So they were like, your name, and they called my government. I was like, what? How these German people even know my government? So I was like, okay, red flag. But I was like, okay, yeah, that's me. And then, so they were like, well, and then they showed me what I already knew or whatever, really, or whatever and everything. So they was like, you can come with us or whatever. You pay this money. You can go. If you can't pay this money, you gotta go to jail. Yeah. So okay, so I was like, bet. So I had the money and I paid that. But at the same time, the crazy thing about it, like if I had went to get the money myself, I could have saved some money and then had some more money. But they did whatever. They basically gave me like the highest exchange rate, or I had to exchange the money from American to German. Yeah. So whatever I was left with, okay, boom. So I paid that and I got out from there. Then get to my baby mama. Like not even 2 days, we like just not getting along. Damn. Not getting along. Not getting along. Not getting along. Quick. Not getting along.
That shit didn't have a stand a chance.
Everything changed like night and day, bro. Like, 'cause we were just getting along like for these past couple months or whatever. I'm helping you with this. I'm, you know, doing stuff or whatever just out the strength or whatever, because hey, I'll come back over there. So I mean, I'm trying to, you know, just hey, it ain't about us, but hey, whatever. So then I get over there, not even 2 days. Shit is not going right. So she basically uses an old situation that happened like a year when I was in the States the first time before I even came back.
Damn.
She used that against me or whatever and everything, or try to bring that up, but we didn't discuss that, not even talk about that. Where she tried to use a slick way that like she saw something in my phone. But at the same time, the crazy thing about it is like, we're not even married no more. I'm back over here for my daughter. Why are you even in my phone in the first place? You wrong in the first place anyway. Like,
damn, so, you go look for something, you gonna find it.
But you know, okay, but of course you in her house, so of course she gonna make it look like I'm wrong, whoop de whoop or whatever. So you know, start calling police and everything. She kicks me out. Really, she kicks me out. I ain't got nobody. I just came with it by myself. Yeah. Nothing, you know, just a bag, about to, you know, start over and, you know, stay with my daughter. Just raise
this
my daughter.
Is in Germany now? Damn. So you just out in the streets in Germany.
Just not came back from the streets. Ended up back. Thought I was about to get out of the streets.
International streets.
International streets, brother. International streets, boy. The international streets. Like real crazy life. And at the same time, your podcast is when this is the first time I'm telling this story like word for word.
Damn,
like
we got the exclusive shit here on No Hangover.
I kind of like gave a little bit of it on my D-Lou or whatever and everything, another podcaster and everything.
Shout out to D-Lou.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to him, man. Cause I did it on his podcast, but I gave a little bit of whatever of each story. But on your podcast, I'm kind of really like in detail with everything. Damn. So now ain't nobody. If you wonder what happened with me or whatever, especially in South Carolina, you wonder what happened with me. This is what happened. This is a true story.
Damn.
True story. I can like, you know, I cannot make this up. I wouldn't even want to make this up about anything. But like, yeah, but end up back on the streets or whatever. So basically, like, cause when she started calling, cause I was trying to like, you know, talk my way or whatever and everything. Cause I already know, like, man, nigga, I end up on the streets. I mean, like,
did you know how to speak German at that time at all, or?
I mean, I like you heard a broken Spanish, right?
Yeah,
I got broken German. Like,
okay,
so
you know enough.
I know my way. I know enough. I know that, and that's the thing that really came into play and really helped me survive that situation, because I knew how to get around. I knew what transportation and all this other stuff, whatever, and everything. But when she kicked me out, like I was like there right on the corner, and I looked up and I closed my eyes and I was like, God, you get me through this. Like that, I just had to talk to God. That's real. I talked to God like, man, you get me through this. Hey, I just need you to carry me through this and get me out, get me somewhere where, hey man, get me I know it's a long road, babe. And then I just took my head back down, and then I was like, okay, train station right there. So the crazy thing about it, like her house was like kind of like not too far from where I can get to the train station. So okay, I'll get to the train station. So I just basically got to the train station and I just sat there. And like I said, this shit in one of my songs, all I had was God, Facebook, and some hope. Because that's all I had at that time, real stuff. Cause I talked to God first, and then now I started looking through the phone and Facebook or whatever. I was like, okay, who can I talk to out here or whatever and everything? Cause I did know some people, whatever, or whatever. I was talking to people before. The crazy thing about it is the music is what really kind of helped, because it was a female that I did a song with when I was in the States or whatever. Because the crazy thing about it, when I was in the homeless shelter or whatever, on Fridays, I used to be off. I used to be off on for my job Fridays, Saturdays, and Fridays and Saturdays. On Fridays, I used to go to the studio for 8 hours.
Damn.
I used to go to
put in a shift over there. Shit.
Sam be mixing or whatever and everything. Instead of going, because I couldn't go to the shelter or whatever and everything. So when I leave at 7, I would just hop on the bus and I would go to Columbia, because Columbia was like 45 minutes away. Word. So I would just hop on the bus and go to Sam be mixing. And he was 45 minutes away, and I would go there, and then I would stay there until like 5, and then I would catch the bus back, and then go back to the on a Friday or whatever.
The grind for real.
On a Friday or whatever. It's some videos or whatever, like people don't know it or whatever. You think I got on some Jordan 11s and shit. After this video shoot, after the studio time, I'm going back to the damn shelter and shit. But it's an interview, like live interview that I still got it or whatever and everything. I did it over the radio or whatever. Did that shit in the shelter backyard, bro. Damn. Like it was a real nigga shit, like, but I mean, cause at the same time now, like I used to be ashamed of it, but now I'm more like, I'm like, okay,
I mean, that's what got you to this point.
It's got me to this point where it got me in a different mindset where like, nah, I will never go back to that ever, bro, ever in life. I will never go back to that ever in life. I don't care what it takes. But at the same time, I'm not gonna underclip nobody or do no wrong for nothing either. Because at the same time, I know what got me here, God. Like I said, I had that talk with God, and like throughout that situation, man, I bounced from over here. God took me from here. He dropped me here. He dropped me here, but he protected me in every drop, every place, everywhere he dropped at me, he protected me.
Yeah, some powerful
time whatever
shit.
Shit like females or whatever. It was time where this female house, she done like got tired of me. And they, and at the same time, and I did or whatever and everything. It's just like, at a certain point where you live with certain people and everything, they're gonna start expecting certain things out of you. They're gonna be nice at first. That's another thing that taught me too, or whatever. And they like, like they're gonna be nice at first. When you first get there, they're gonna be all peachy keisha, and then it's gonna be a time where they're gonna have their bad days or whatever, and you the motherfucker that they're gonna take it out on.
Yep.
Because you ain't got nothing. So what can you do? You in my house.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Some shit.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Get your ass. Yeah. What you wanna say? Get your ass out.
Yeah.
What you do?
Damn, man. Shit. That's a hell of a fucking journey that you've taken.
Yeah, no. It's
taking
like
you across the world, back home, back to across the world, back over here, Tampa. Now you find yourself in Orlando.
Now I'm at so much peace now. Whatever. And at the same time, I think about that, because at the same time, anytime I got a graphic complaint, I think about that. Like, bro, you done been through the worst of the worst, bro.
Yeah,
you ain't got nothing to complain about,
you,
huh? It humble the fuck out of me, bro. I'm now people, and that's another thing. Now y'all can understand why I'm so humble, man. Like, why
you ain't really got a choice.
Cause life done showed me like, hey, that shit can. Cause I mean, I've been up here, I've been seeing the top of the top, bro, and that shit just to go down to that, like, it's like doing a jail bill without doing it. Like I could consider that shit like showed me like, it showed me how people are. It showed me like, at the end of the day, man, you ain't got nobody but you. Or whatever, and you gotta make sure you get it done.
Yeah.
You can't worry about if they gonna get it done for you, or you can't wait for nobody to get it done for you. It's good to network and it's good to, deal with people, but you can't be saying, well, I ain't in this spot because I ain't. At the same time, you gotta look at it. I mean, maybe God, I don't know what God got in your life cards for you. I mean, I feel like God got this in my life cards for me or whatever, just because of what out of all of that situation, he never took the music from me. He kept it from me. He kept it in my life in certain type of ways. There's times or whatever I've been performing, life falling apart, motherfuckers don't even know it.
Yeah.
But like, you know, God gave me that opportunity or whatever and everything. It's like certain opportunities that come across that I know it ain't came from nobody but God, but it kept me in there or whatever. So I've been able to keep myself in, you know, in the conversation. Well, in people conversation. I mean, not in the conversation or whatever, because the conversation, that's the mainstream and all the other stuff, but just in conversations or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, people seeing my journey, people know my journey. A lot of people, I got German homies or whatever that, you know, been in it with me or whatever and everything that, you know, they know my situation and they know, like, they look at me now and they be like, yeah, he came a long way, because I remember when you know, so a lot of situations, bro.
Yeah, that's some powerful shit, man. I mean, resilience, like I said, that's something
resilience, bro, is all about the mindset, bro. It's like, you know, at the same time, you just can't let life defeat you, man, because sometimes this shit will knock the fuck out you sometimes. Like,
no doubt about that.
Shit
no doubt about it.
You.
Shit.
But you gotta, shit might daze your shit, but you gotta get your damn fucking, you gotta get that down right. You gotta get that sight back right. You know, if it hit you in your nose, you know, your shit gonna water up, but you gotta damn fucking make sure that sight gets some type of way where you can start dodging again, bro. You know, can't let that one just do you know, get hit with about two more, get hit with another 2-piece, like shit. That second 2-piece ain't gonna be nice, bro.
Shit gonna hurt even more.
that shit gonna knock you. That shit might knock you the fuck out, bro.
Did you play any sports growing up or anything?
Yeah, I played basketball a lot, but not no organized, but you know, like in the country or whatever and everything like that. But you know.
What part of South Carolina? Because I mean, I can't.
There's me and John Morant from the John Morant from out there. John Morant down for he graduated from the high school I graduated from. I mean, years later, but he graduated from Crestwood. I graduated from Crestwood too.
I mean, how, like, I guess, like, is it like the sticks out there, like, or like is it?
No, it's the country. And the part I go it's like I grew up in two parts of it though. I grew up in Sumter. Sumter is where I started at before my grandmother passed. Yeah. That's where I was at in the downtown, and like in the city, like type of, they consider Sumter the city. Yeah. And like in Dalzell, that's the country, like where it's like you might be riding at night and a deer might run in front of your shit. You know, like you know, you see, or you just be standing out in the yard and you see a couple of deers run by and everything like that. You know, like you just wood snakes. Grandfather always had to kill snakes out there, whatever. Summertime. You know. Yeah, man.
Country living is different.
Yeah, that's why I made that. That's where that song "Country Love" came from. That song "Country Love" came from. Like that "Country Love" is my experiences in Dalzell, kind of. It's like kind of my homage to Dalzell and shit.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, you gotta love where you're from, right?
I mean, yeah. To a sense, to a certain extent, I'll say that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Life just made me into where, like, you know, that love, it only go to a certain extent. Because certain people that take that and they use it for gain and not in a good way, and then certain people expect you to love them and let you do whatever the fuck you want, they want to you. So you just gotta understand. You gotta understand the lines between that shit. I mean, at the same time, the place you love, the place you from, they ain't gonna love you like that anyway. Like, I get more love from strangers than I get from.
Well, I mean, for me, in the sense of like, just like, not even necessarily the people, because I feel like people are gonna be like that wherever the fuck you go. Because people are fucking, in their nature, people are a little grimy in some sense. So, but I'm talking about more just kind of like, you know, that's where I'm from, that's where I grew up, that's what kind of, you know, helped mold me and shit like that. Yeah,
I'm from the, they call it. I mean, where I started at the Merk, they call it Merk City. Merk City, just from the words, and it's got even worse. Like, I be like on Facebook, like, cause it be so bad. Like, I go on Facebook and I'll post my stuff and I'll just get off. Cause I don't wanna, cause that's what I'm seeing. That's Facebook. So I'm gonna see stuff from home in Carolinas and everything. That's when I start seeing what's going on out there. Yeah. If I want to know what's going on out there, I go to my Facebook or my Snapchat or whatever, see what's going on out there. But I try to like just post and get there. Like, I don't be trying to see it, cause I want to see like some such and pass or whatever and everything, and I'll be trying to stay away from that shit. Like, I told my grandma, my grandma whatever and everything. Like, my grandma is like the person I'm really like, as far as like home wise. My grandmother is like the person I'm the closest with. My step grandmother or whatever, that took over things after my guardian, after my biological grandmother passed. But I call her grandma now because, like, you know, she been there all these years later, whatever and everything. So, you know, but I told her whatever. Now I try to stay on Facebook with her because everybody else, they got each other. Me, I ain't got nobody out here. Like, if something happened there, whatever, Who I'm gonna talk to deal with it? Nobody, because ain't nobody out here. And at the same time, I'm like I always felt like the black sheep of the family anyway. I always felt like the black sheep of the family anyway. Like I'm the oddball. I'm the oddball out of everybody.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, the crazy thing about that though, my grandfather saw that, and my grandfather kept me where like you're gonna be the one out of everybody that walk a straight line. He saw that, and my grandfather caught on that. He caught on that I was the oddball out of everybody. Yeah. So everybody else, I used to see everybody get away with everything. I'm like, man, why they, you know, and everything? Me, like the first little thing I do, like, what's wrong with you? I can't. The first little, you know, jerk. Like, what's wrong with you? What you doing? Tighten up.
Damn.
Everybody else is all over the place, loose hair, doing everything else. So me, like first little.
No, you get into some shit, huh?
What you doing, bro? What you doing? Tighten up. But I thank you for that though. At the same time though, I really thank my grandfather that though. My grandfather, like, because when I got into the military, like when people yelling in my face all the time, it didn't mean nothing to me because I had my grandfather was my drills. My grandfather was my drill sergeant before I even got into the military. Yeah. But it made it easier for me when I got in there because discipline was nothing. And then at the same time, it made it easier for me in more life now. Like, you know, my grandfather always told me, like, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
So before I do anything, before I record music, before I do anything at work, before I do whatever, I always think that in my head, work smarter, not harder. All the time.
That'll save you a lot of trouble in the long run too.
Yeah, it does. Whatever. Because my grandfather told me, like, you ain't got to be the smartest person in the world, just hire common sense, son.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be the smartest person in the world, just have common sense.
Use your brain a little bit.
Have common sense, son.
Yeah. That shit lacks a little bit too. Fuck. Yeah. Too many people fucking overthinking shit, overcomplicating shit.
But and at the same time in music, that'd be a downfall too, though. If you overthink things in the music, you just gotta let it flow. Like, if you feel good about it, as long as you ain't doing nothing, like, I mean, but people gonna do what they do in the studio, but don't you feel good if you leave the studio, man? It is what it is. I mean, people you got different demographics of music. I mean,
somebody's gonna listen to it, someone's gonna resonate with it, someone's gonna like it.
Somebody's gonna like it.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I mean, if it's things you gotta work on, then, you know, just be able to take that or whatever. Do like, okay, well, yeah, you know, I gotta work on this. I gotta, you know, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been a long way, man. At the same time, like I feel like this right here is like a therapy session at the same time, to be honest with you. That's why I kind of like, I like how your interviews go because you two have so many different ranges of stuff you talk about. Yeah. And everything, so it's like,
I mean, that's how I try to keep it because, I mean, I started this back in 2019 with 3 of my friends. So.
You're doing it for a minute now.
Yeah. And I think that was always kind of the issue that I was running into, like, us as a group, and then just me personally, it was like, well, fuck, like, how do I get across what I'm knowledgeable in, which is music, you know, sports things, stuff like that. Like, those are my main interests, but also able to, you know, keep still not narrow myself too much.
Yeah, no.
And now recently, you know, it's just me doing it now. So, you know, that's when I started. I linked up with my dog EA Longway, Guys Are Outlets, which is another podcast, and my dog Nate from What We're All Thinking podcast. And I had them 3 like back to back to back. And that kind of opened the door for me to get into the rap scene, the music scene in Orlando a little bit. So, you know, that was able to help me kind of narrow my niche down as far as like, all right, you know, it's a music podcast in a sense, but like, that's just going to get me, like you said, kind of a core fan base. And then, you know, I'll still be able to, you know, have certain guests on where I can talk about this a little bit more. I have guests on that I can talk about that a little bit more. But, you know, having the artists on and things like that is going to open that door for me to invite other people. Like, I've had, you know, authors on, entrepreneurs. I've had family. I've had, you know, friends. I had an artist on a couple weeks ago. You know, I've had a movie guy that he works in film and all that shit. So people that play different music, that like indie rock type shit. So, you know, I'm starting to, you know, those doors are starting to open up for me. So I kind of realized that
really help you. That put you out there. That when them doors really open to have you in different spots. Or
you're right. So that kind of opened the door for me, like that. I, you know, people see that I'm credible in this, so then they could take my, you know, it's gonna invite other people that, you know, actually taking these things serious, that are actually doing something, that see that I can talk about these things and be knowledgeable about it. Or if I'm not, I can ask the right questions to to move these things forward and get myself knowledgeable about it. So it builds that up. So
knowledge is power, man.
For real.
Knowledge is power.
That's why that shit costs so much. That's why they fucking charge you so much to go to school and shit.
Knowledge is free, man.
Knowledge
is free. You gotta go look. You gotta go find it.
That's why I went to college for a semester. I'm like, this ain't for me. I'm gonna figure this shit out one way or another. I'm gonna learn one way or another, because once you have the information, they can't take it away from you.
But it's different ways to learn, though. I mean, everybody has a different way of learning or whatever. I mean, there's different ways to learn. If you don't want to read it, go on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, they got something to teach you. But I mean, at the same time, knowledge is better. It's just better to read it and attend it where you can just keep it here.
Yeah, and I mean that's through books, through YouTube, through life, just different work experiences, life experience. I mean, life is the best teacher.
Life is the best teacher.
That shit will fucking teach you real quick, and if you don't learn, it'll keep on teaching you until you do, and if you don't learn, then you're fucked.
Yeah, life will just keep stumping the hell out of you.
For real. So I mean, for me and my mom's side of the family, they all went to school, have their masters, their doctorates, all that shit. And I'm the one that dropped out of college. So, like, I had to, like, when I made that decision, I'm like, okay, I need to figure some shit out. I need to do some that. So, I got certifications and gained knowledge in other ways. But, I started learning, just kind of that. It's like, once I get this information, like, they can't take it away from me. I have the information.
Once you attain the information, nobody can take it from you. Nobody can take it from you.
Yeah, so that's why, like, no disrespect to, college and going to school and all that shit. Like, if it's not cool. Taking away from it,
it's cool, but you gotta look at it though. It's people who have dropped out of 10th grade that are millionaires.
Yeah,
like people who don't even make it to high school that are millionaires.
Yeah, I mean, and then you can buy your way into whatever the fuck you want. Then you can really pay for that degree and not be in debt, or if you so
you
that
gotta figure out ways to make it. You gotta make it like it's just all the literacy or whatever in the world. You just gotta figure out which one best fits you, what you trying to do.
For real. Which I mean, that's that can be hard too, because like you said, there is so many things to choose from and so many things to do. But so it's kind of it's a blessing and a curse that maybe the first thing you try is what works for you, but it might be the thousandth thing that you try that it's like, I finally found it.
One thing is you can't give up.
Right, and easier said than done. Easier said than done.
You can't get punched in the mouth one time, be like, okay, now I'm good. You gotta, hey.
But I mean, I agree with you 100%. Like it is,
as far as like as far as life or whatever and everything. I mean, you just like can't just get that down like certain one thing or whatever, that one no or whatever, and be like or somebody tell you your music is this or whatever or that or it's trash or whatever and everything. How many times I heard people tell me my music is trash? I listen to certain things and I started deciphering out who was really trying to help or whatever, and who's really just saying it shit because they don't like it or they don't like me.
Yeah. But
what you decipher that shit? I think but that's it. Like life is all about the mind, but like if you got your mind in control, you in control of everything. If your mind in control, you ain't controlling nothing, because if the mind in control, everything else is it's all messed up.
Yeah,
everything all messed up at that. But if you control your mind or whatever, I mean, like I say. I mean, just don't let things deter you or whatever. You just understand, like, bad times will come around or whatever. That's just life. I mean, it's always going to be, because if life was always good, then it wouldn't be life.
Yeah.
Life was always good.
Then it would, I mean,
I used to be mad at that too. I'd be like, man, like, with my situations and everything, I used to, like, I'm just now recently coming to this type of peace. I don't know, it's just because, I just think to myself and I have more time to think a lot of time. I'm to myself 24/7, and I prefer it that way or whatever, So,
but I mean, it's something. I mean, that's what it really takes is being able to self-reflect and things like
alone.
that.
A lot of people are afraid to be alone.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, that's certain times. That's the only way you're gonna be able to deal with certain things. You're gonna have to be alone, and you're gonna have to relive things. Because Kevin Gates said one of the craziest things. Guys, say time Kevin Gates he do some crazy stuff sometimes, but like dude is very intelligent and everything, but. Like he said, like in order to heal from the past, sometimes you got to relive it. Yeah. And then as more as at times, because like I tell you, I used to be ashamed to talk about stuff like this or whatever, or scared to even really think about it because you used to make me mad and used to be like, because I mean me or whatever, like people who really know me and people who know the other side and they'll be trying to twist stories and everything. No, like I'm genuine, bro. I don't try and like do nobody wrong or whatever. And then I don't want bad karma and everything because I know. Hey, it can be here one day and God can snatch it from you just because you did something wrong or whatever and everything. Like I know God in control of everything I have, but like that's why I try to tell people, man, like, I just try and let that shit be, whatever and everything, but you just can't let things deter you, man. You can't let it, hold grudges and everything. You gotta let things be what it's gonna be. Understand? It's messed up people out here. You just gotta, take that. Don't let them fool you twice. And, just keep moving.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite quotes, y'all know this shit. If people aren't against you, they're for themselves.
Yeah.
I heard that quote the first time, and that shit fucking cleared the clouds for me. I was like, damn, that makes so much sense.
And then at the same time, also, you gotta understand, too. I mean, certain people or whatever, they're mad at themselves or whatever.
Yeah,
too,
and
so
they're projecting it onto you.
They're at war. They're at war with themselves.
Yeah.
They're not mad at you. They're at war with themselves or whatever. So
Yeah.
they're projecting, their anger on you. So just try to dodge it when you see it. Like when you see one red flag, just go the other way, man.
Yeah.
Just say certain situations, it may be hurting a cut sometime or whatever. But I mean, you gotta do what's best for you. I mean, at the same time, because I mean, a lot of people would tell you, like, people who try to put the bad thing out about me, whether they'll tell you I'm selfish, but I'm not really selfish. I mean, I ain't selfish. I'm more selfish now. I mean, I'm more selfish now, but back then when people was actually saying, no, I wasn't selfish.
Yeah, you have to be, there has to be a healthy level of selfishness. Like you said, you only got you. You got to take care of yourself. You got to go out and get it. So, yeah, so there has to be a level of it, but, people, will take that and be, too selfish sometimes or not find, life is a fucking balance. You got to find the balance in everything. And, it's a ongoing, continuing battle until the day you die. So, like, you just got to fucking, again, wake, feel blessed, feel happy that you woke up and you got another day to try and be better.
Yeah, man, for real, man.
It's really, that's really, I mean, I feel like, that's the easiest, the best way to go about things. And, whatever, whenever you go down to lay your head down at bed at night, kind of, reflect on the day is like, these things happen because such and such, or I needed this to happen, or
you gotta look for the good in the situation.
Yeah,
that's what I try to do.
You gotta find the silver lining. Yeah.
Especially since I've been with everything. That's another thing that it taught me. It said, don't look for the bad and everything or whatever. Try to look for the good in it. Even though something bad or whatever happened, try to look for the good in it. That way you can, because that's how you keep your mind positive. That's how you keep going.
Yeah.
And that's how you don't, because like I said, I be trying to keep my depression away, because it could take, because a lot of people in it, people who really have depression, they know it take the snap of a finger for you to be up here and just drop. Like you back in the slums or whatever, feeling like, hopeless and all that or whatever. And I be trying not to feel like that or whatever and everything, because that'd be like a bad feeling. So, but like I be thinking now, like, I have no reason to feel like that and that like that. I try and think of happy things or something bad happened to me, or I try not to let it just push me all the way to where like, it's a reason to happen or whatever, but it ain't the end. You already know that because you made it through all that and you even in a better spot now or whatever and everything. So, you already know, like, that's another thing they taught me, whatever. I got to this point, whatever, I'm in a whole lot better position or whatever than what I was or what I came through and everything. So I know, like, just don't ever go back to that situation, or don't let nobody ever have it where they're in control, where they can end up where you have to go back to that situation.
Yeah.
I never get nobody to control my life where they have it where, like, if anybody mess up this time, it's me. I ain't got nobody to blame but me this time.
Yeah. No, that's important shit. Just being in control of yourself and control of your mind and control of your emotions.
Yeah, no, just have
Very important.
have a relationship with God or whatever, man, or just like, pray to God or whatever. Just stay prayed up or whatever. I mean, like I say, prayer helps. I mean, certain situations I see or whatever. Yeah. I know certain things happen or whatever. That's why I try to be good to others and everything. Or whatever. I try and, be good to others and, put the positive energy out there or whatever. So that positive energy come back to me. So negative energy or, I try to keep the negative energy away from me. Whenever I was out and about, when I was doing shows and everything, I'd be standing off to myself or whatever, because I got to see where the energy coming. I got to see who energy coming from. There's only certain people I would go to and I would greet or whatever, everything like that. But everybody else, I ain't, really, I gotta see what type of energy people on. You never know.
Word. So you've been in Orlando now for like 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years, dog, man. 3 years. Yeah. No, yeah, 3 years, dog. I got here 2022.
Have you worked with any like Orlando artists and made songs, or just worked with making music or anything like that?
Yeah, I work with Kid Pro. A lot of people who hear the podcast, they'll know who Kid Pro is. Great artists out here. Or whatever, one of our brothers and everything. QS Latin, I work with him. He's another artist who's been out here, whatever, that people know. I work with B1U, Blue, I worked with him. Let's see. I mean, there's some other artists I got to think of. Florida Haitian, I work with Florida Haitian. He's another artist out here. He be between Tampa and Orlando.
All right.
Florida Haitian. Let's see. Because I have to go. Mojica, I got a song with him, but he's like an artist. He's in Orlando, whatever, and everything. Producer wise, 1MOD, I worked with him. We did like a whole tape together, Beezoe time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably some people I miss, but I have worked with some other, but not many of them. Cause I see time, it's been a lot of times though. I'm gonna be real though. A lot of times I sent like songs to people or whatever, and they never either send it back or either they feel like they on a certain level.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, I have attempt, but those are the ones I know off the top of my head. But it's probably some ones I'm missing though.
Is there anybody that, I mean, you just dropped this album, I'm sure you're gonna let that ride. But it seems like you put out music at a pretty high clip. So I mean, what is, I guess what's the rest of 2025 looking for you then? Like, is there any artists that you want to work with? Or are you just focusing more on doing your own shit solo? Are you gonna do shows or like, what's?
I mean, I'm trying to work more with artists or whatever and everything because I have like 233 songs or whatever on like SoundCloud.
Oh
like,
shit.
So it's like I want to be, because I mean it's not like I'm tired of hearing myself nothing like that, but I want to be like more where my listener can hear more besides me and everything. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm also like figuring out ways to advance the style or whatever too, where I do different cadence and different things, so where it sounds different and everything. So that's what I'm focusing on. But I want to do more features though at the same time, really though, because I really want to work with more artists or whatever. Because I want to go off other people's vibe or whatever. Because I created like so many vibes. Like I said, I got 233 songs or whatever on SoundCloud or whatever, and I got like half of that probably on all the streaming platforms. So but yeah, I'm gonna keep releasing music or whatever. Like I got like probably another like 20 or 30. There's like another 20 for sure that's like being cooked up right now. Like just even though I just dropped this or whatever and everything.
You got that shit locked in.
But I record music like that out of this MVP session or whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna have stuff left over, and then certain songs or whatever that I don't put on the streaming platforms because it got a sample or something in or whatever. And everything. So this next tape is gonna be basically more of that. Like I try and keep it. I'm in like I'm in my mixtape phase right now.
Yeah.
Like basically, I'm gonna have like a bunch of mixtapes out. Like I got like a bunch of mixtapes on SoundCloud. If you wanna like hear if you wanna go to an artist page that you could listen to music for like a week or a fucking good bit of time, and you ain't gonna just run through it in a day. Yeah. Go to my SoundCloud. Keep you entertained for like at least a week.
Oh shit.
At least a week. I mean, at the same time, it depends on how you listen to the music too or whatever and everything. So at the same time, but I got so many mixtapes on there or whatever, and that's because a lot of it is I have samples on certain things, so I put it.
Shit
on
don't
there.
get cleared.
Yeah. So and then at the same time it be beats or whatever, other people beats or whatever too. Cause I do like the Wayne mixtape thing, whatever. Wayne was doing his mixtape thing or whatever. I do that. I still do that or whatever. I like do that a lot of times.
Hey, fuck it. Get on some shit. Keep the fucking tool sharp. Keep the skill sharp.
Yeah. So the next tape or whatever and shit like that or whatever. Like I just it's gonna be on SoundCloud, but that the song I put out, the Money Over Feelings or whatever. That's like the first thing from that. Like, that's really the first thing from that, to be honest with you.
Shit. Well, I mean. Like I said, I've been having more artists on. Maybe I can connect some of y'all on.
Yeah, like I said, artists hit me up or whatever. I mean, like a lot of these artists know who I am or whatever. Though they see me out and about or whatever. They know who I am, like on just from the Instagram and everything like that. Whatever, I be seeing people when I go out and I see people know and But like I said, I've been wanting to do like the performance thing or whatever, but I've been just basically just locked in or whatever, just on the gram or whatever, just basically like figuring out the business aspect of it or whatever. Now, like, I done did all that or whatever. I was just trying to get better at the business aspect or whatever, trying to add on to the knowledge, because the game is at a change right now. The game is going through a change, because, every 5 years the game go through a change, and then we had that change now where it's going through another change. So I'm trying to figure out what that is really right now. That's what my main focus is, to figure out, like, what the change is and how to adapt in that change and everything, and just
make the most of it, capitalize on that shit. Make the most
of it, what the strategies is or whatever, or what they doing. So, and what's the new way to kind of like to release music where it's, But I mean, at the same time, I'm coming up my own way though. At the same time though, really, cause I was like, man, why follow the rule book though? I mean, and at the same time, people, it's like I feel like release dates don't matter anymore. I feel like
no, I mean they kind of don't unless you're like.
Yeah, unless you're somebody beige.
Yeah, like you're a top artist. But yeah, no, now I mean it's just kind of about getting your shit out
if
there.
You're an independent artist or whatever, like I just feel like just drop it.
Yeah.
And I feel like just drop music or whatever and everything like that or whatever and just promote it or whatever. Just figure out like which ones are your biggest songs or whatever and just
then start pushing the fuck out of those.
Put those or whatever, but still promote everything else or whatever. But just focus on those where you put more attention on those. But like I'm gonna promote everything or whatever. Cause like me or whatever, I've been on CapCut and I just bang out. I like what I do is I'll do like about 30 pieces of content like all in one time, and then
so then you have shit to post throughout.
So that way I'll just cut the sound out, and then that's where I can just basically put it in Instagram and search a song on it, whatever part I want to start. So that's what I'll do. I'll do that shit for like probably a couple hours. I'll just do that for a couple
knock
hours.
That shit out.
Like about 40, 50, like just shit in my phone. I got my phone right now just stack up with shit ready for this shit right now. So I can just be videos that are already done. I just gotta do the song.
Consistency, especially on social media, you gotta stay consistent with that shit.
That's the only way the algorithm gonna really rock with you or whatever. Because you gotta get the algorithm like trained to a certain.
Also, I mean, reposting your own shit too. Like you really gotta be.
You gotta post more than one time.
Yep. So they get some run, and I mean, it is a whole. I mean, but that's the good thing about it is that it's an algorithm, so you can learn it and you can understand it and you can.
You gotta figure out
make it work for you.
Yeah, make it work for you. What your niche is. It's just go back to what you said too. Whatever your niche or whatever. That's another important thing of like artistry or whatever. As far as like really doing something where you're reaching like different like fan bases and everything, like ads and everything. It's like. It's so many things or whatever to being an artist that a lot of people, I mean, I hope they know or they don't know. A lot of people, you would think a lot of people know this, but certain people don't know it either. Like, you think you gotta know that. A lot of people know about ASCAP or whatever and everything. Like, a lot of people know that you can get paid from them, like the showcase shows that you do.
Yeah.
You get paid for them shits through ASCAP. You can get paid. Like, you just basically gotta, like, cause whatever song you done did or whatever, as long as you got it registered to do ASCAP or whatever, then you can get paid or whatever. Even though you done paid for the slot or whatever, you still can get paid through. But it ain't like no big money or whatever and everything like that. But at the same time, it's money that adds up, and that's what I started thinking too. Cause I started seeing different little monies here and there from mechanical royalties and different things like that. I started seeing that or whatever recently. So I was like, okay, bet. So that's another thing that started like kind of like And I got merch or whatever too that So I got like different things that but it just. Okay, I'm managing it myself or whatever and everything because I ain't really expecting nobody else to.
Yeah.
And I know what I supposed to do with it. So
you gotta make the time for that shit. Yeah. Well, shit. I think that was pretty good shit. We got some exclusive shit, some fucking detailed fucking shit you ain't never heard. Beezoe, I fucking appreciate you coming through and reaching out to me and getting you on the podcast. I mean, that was some good shit.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me, man. Just, chopping it up and talking and everything, man. Like, letting people know what's up with me. But yeah, like I said, man, just keep your eye on me, man, because I'm going to really be doing some major stuff or whatever, just, trying to get to that next level and everything.
Word,
just music coming out or whatever, just trying to figure out different things with the sync placements and all type of stuff, man. Just trying to figure it out.
Well, yeah, and let them know like socials, platforms you're on, all that shit.
Everything is just Money Beezoe, man. Is at Money Beezoe, MoneyBeezoe. It's at everything. And it's on Google that you'll find me. That's on Instagram. It's on Twitter. It's on all things. Everything is just simple Money Beezoe.
But well, man, I appreciate it. That was episode 222 of the No Hangover Podcast. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, rate, follow across all platforms. We're on YouTube. We're on we were on SoundCloud. Sorry, we're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. Check us out on Instagram at No Hangover Podcast and on TikTok at No_hangover. Like the reels, comment on the reels, like the videos, watch, subscribe, all that shit. Yeah, that's it, man. I appreciate it. Everybody love everybody. Deuces. Good shit.